All right. We are live. Starting a little late. However, you guys missed absolutely nothing because the score is actually 4-4. Welcome to Game 4 of the OTA Finals. The Sharks lead the series 2-1 and have the chance to take the championship right here, right now, today. The Sharks have a chance to build a legacy. Ray goes down first. Vero is out. Fantana passing it over to Kai. Kai back to Fantana. Fantana is Gonzo. Real gamer over to Kai. Kai to Real. Real has time making. Kai goes down. Real gamer to Bera. Bera. Real gamer goes past it. And Real gamer goes down. The Beasts will take that round. Bera passes it over to Kai. Kai needs to give it to Fantana, however, he's unable to do so. Ray over to Vox. Ray back to Vox. Vox to Ray. Ray tracks down Vox like it's Swiss cake. Good stuff by Ray. Shots. Pass it over, however. Shots is tracked down again by Ray. Ray with 14 KOs already, and it's round number 14. Bera passes the ball, takes out Ferocious. However, the Sharks still have numbers. Bob Blown alive, and Bob is tracked. No! Bob sacks his own teammate in Bera. Bob goes down. The Sharks tie it up once again. Shots from Fantana. Fantana over to Bob. Ray passes it over, and Ray goes down. Fantana from Bob. Bob blown it on Fantana. Bob ISOs, takes out Slump. Fantana to Bera. Bera back to Fantana. Fantana goes down. Bob blown with the bomb. Giving it to Ferocious. Ferocious over to Bob. And Kai goes down in the mix. Vero goes down next. 3 versus 2 in favor of the Beasts. And Bob Blown owning Bera. 6-5. Vampy, thank you so much, Habibi. With 200 coins. Right from Bob. Bob, taken out of the mix. Was unable to track to anyone. Bob sacking his own teammate. Not a good start for the Beasts, who are behind, who are only ahead by 1 point on their own servers. You would think that they would dominate on their own servers, however, that is not the case right now. And the gap is slowly closing up. Real Gamer passes it over to Shots. Bob and Real Gamer going at it. The number 1 and number 2 player worldwide, Real Gamer, has no timing and was unable to pass it either to one of Vox or Bob Lone. Bob over to Fantana. Bob goes down. Fantana over to Slump, and Vox goes down next, and the Sharks tied up once again. We are going back and forth. We have yet to see a team take a 2-point lead, and we are in game 4 of the OTA finals. Ray over to Bob. However, he was unsuccessful. Bob remains alive. Slump going to try and give it to Real Gamer. However, he totally failed. Zero chemistry from his teammate. Had no support. Real Gamer didn't want to risk it. And Real Gamer sacks down Fantana instead after a failed attempt to take out Bob Lone. That is 2 Sharks players down already. Bob tracks down Ferocious. And now it's Real Gamer versus the entire lobby. Real Gamer taking out Bob Lone. First target goes down. Bera, the second target goes down. Bera, ranking 12th worldwide. Real Gamer and Shots. Shots, ranked number 37 worldwide, takes him out. Real Gamer going for Kai now. Ranked number 22 worldwide. Can he take him out? Kai has timing on Real, and Real is out with the help of Vox. 6-7 is the score. Bob going for Slump. Had to track down Kai instead. Bob over to Slump. Slump back to Bera. Slump taking on a Beasts player, massive. Sharks look to tie back up once again. However, Slump goes down in that mix-up. Fantana needs to give it to Bob Lone. Unsuccessful in doing so. Looking bright for the Beasts. However, the job is still not done. Pharaoh taken out. Real Gamer passed it to Bob Lone, who had to give it to his own teammate in Shots. It is a 2-on-2. Vox goes down first. And now it is up to Bob Lone to try and clutch up the round. To try and clutch up the beat. Try and prevent the Beasts, try and prevent the Sharks from tying it up once again. And it is Bob Lone versus Real Gamer. Number 1 and number 2 worldwide. Bob unable to pass it to Real Gamer. And Real Gamer clutches it up for his team, tying up the game 7-7. Bera needs to try and give it to Ray. However, he simply had no chance. Ray taking out Slump of the mix, tried to get on Bob Lone. Simply was not successful in doing so. Fantana goes down. We're tied 7-7. It's been a back and forth all set long. You can feel the intensity. You can feel the pressure between the two teams. Oh my goodness, Vampy. 500. Oh my goodness, money gun from Vampy. Thank you so much, Vampy. Wow. Shout out to Vampy. He's a great, honestly, for everyone, for anyone watching. Be sure to give Vampy a sub. He posts some great time up content. 100% recommend. Ray unable to track down Kai. It's now up to Real Gamer, who lags at the worst possible time. That'll be a leg warning and a win for the Beasts. You do not want to lag when the score is so close and so tight. Bob Lone to Real Gamer. Can he do it? Real Gamer takes out Bob Lone. That is not good for the Beasts. Having your best player go down first. Vox goes down next. Shots used to track back. Canny and Shots goes down. Right over to Bera. Bera needs to pass it, and he can't. The Real Gamer passing it over to Fantana. However, that failed attempt ends up taking out Real Gamer instead of Bera. I don't think the trade-off was worth it. Slump over to Bera. Bera goes down. Fantana over to Kai. Kai needs to pass it. And the Sharks tie it up once again. We have not seen a 2-point lead so far. And Real Gamer is given a penalty. And a timeout's been called. So there's no timeout? Okay, I guess there's no timeout. The Sharks are playing one man down. Bob over to Ray. Ray unable to track down Bob. Bob going for Fantana. Can he do it? No, Bob is tracked down by Fantana. Ferocious, the American with the bomb, tracks down Bear, who then takes out Kai instead. Fantana over to Bera. Bera to Fantana. Fantana needs to make something happen and he can't. Slump over to Bera. Slump has a bomb. Unable to track to Bera. It is Bera versus Ferocious. Beasts have full control over the numbers. Oh, it's definitely not. There we go. It is 9-8 for the Beasts. The difference it makes when Real Gamer is not in. Kai goes down first. Ray to Bera. The shots goes down. Ray over to Bob. Bob tracks down Slump instead. Beasts taking as much control as they can. Extremely unfortunate for Real Gamer to grab a penalty this late. Ferocious goes down. Right over to Bera. Bera tracks down another Sharks player. And now it is up to Fantana to make magic happen. Bob taking out Fantana. And that is a 2-point lead for the Beasts, and we're at game point. Real Gamer might have just screwed his team over. Real Gamer might have cost his team a championship by not being able to lock down his internet. (10-8) for the Beasts. Game point. Real Gamer is now back in officially. Bob going to try and take out Fantana. However, Chris goes down instead. Bob unable to give it to anyone. Kai needs to pass it over to Fantana. However, Fantana ankles him at the last second. Took a swish that Kai wasn't expecting. And the game was stopped. Chris goes down first. Bob goes down at the mercy of Real Gamer. Kai goes down next. Barra is tracked back to Ray, and he's unsuccessful in doing so. Ray goes down. It is Vox and Slump. And now it is Real Gamer to try and save the day. And Real Gamer simply had no idea what he was doing there. That is a win for the Beasts. We'll be switching servers. Let's give us a moment. Sharks need to join first. We're on Los Angeles, California servers. Starting round number 1 of set 2. And that means I need to also reset the scoreboard. Bob, first player down in set number 2. Vero goes down next. Shots to Fantana. Shots back to no one. Had no one to give it to. Fantana remains alive. Shots over to Kai. Kai goes Chris. Kai takes out Chris. Fantana over to Kai, but was unsuccessful. Relegator outrunning Fox, taking round number 1 for the Sharks. Shots goes down next. Up to Chris. Chris over to Irud, and Irud's out. Another sweep by the Sharks. 2-0. Guys, still unable to be tracked down by the Sharks. It's now a 2-on-2. Real Gamer still alive. Fantana tracked. And 3-0 for the Sharks. Oh, Quizzle, thank you for the creeper. Real Gamer up against Kai. And Kai fumbles against Real Gamer. And it is 4-0 for the Sharks. This might be a very quick set. And the war might just wage out in set number 3. Maybe I save my commentating voice for set number 3, where things begin to get real. Beasts finally take the first point. Getting on the board 4-1. Ferocious winning it once again, taking out Bob 5-1. Guys, who's winning set 2? Who's winning set number 2? Fox goes down. Shots unable to give back to Fantana. Arud unable to give it to Ferocious. So now it's a 2-on-2. Bob up against Fantana leaves the scene, and Ferocious has to sack down Fantana. Uncoordinated play by the Sharks. Ferocious and Bob now going at it. And Ferocious has Bob's tail. And now it's a 1-on-1 between the two Americans. 8 and 7 KOs respectively. Anyone can win. Kai has timing, and Ferocious had no idea what to do. It's 5-2. Arud goes down first. Another dub for the Sharks, 6-2. You can hear my chair rocking. My goodness, bro. Where's It's not good. Where's how do I fix this? Bro, I have noise suppression on high. Like, what is wrong with my Alright, my chair rocking is not that bad. The game is called Time Bomb Duels. Ferocious had no one to give it to. It's like the pro version of Time Bomb Duels. So it's the same owners, but this is for the league players. So these matches are held on custom minigames. Another win for the Sharks. The biggest gift this line. Oh, Saul, thank you so much for the 100. I just saw that. And Bobby, thank you as well. The biggest gift was when Code started gifting galaxy after galaxy after galaxy. I think he gave like 10 galaxies. Real Gamer issued a leg warning. Thank you, Habibi. Listen, man, give me Galaxy and I'll sound like a dog. Bob from Real Gamer. Arud goes down. Oh my goodness, Bobby Biller! Woof woof! Whoa, 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 whoa! Thank you so much, Bobby. Katana, over to Bobby. Hey, I made the deal. Galaxy for a little wolf. Good boy. Thank you so much, Bobby. It's much appreciated. Kai goes down next. Yasin, thank you. Real Gamer taking out Ray. And now it's a 2-on-2. Rushes to Vox. Vox goes down. Roush just over to Shots. Shots needs to track back and he can't. That is a dub for the Sharks. 8-2. Spy. Meow for a galaxy. Meow. Where's my galaxy at? Yo, where's my galaxy? Shots goes down. Spy, if one gets a timed ban, can we still appeal? Yeah, they can. I mean, it's unlikely it'll get accepted because the anti-cheat is usually very accurate and it knows exactly what you did. The anti-cheat is so good, it can see if you have Delta open on your computer, even if you're not using it. No, I wouldn't get into OTA. Yeah. These players are way better than me. Barra goes down. And that is another win for the Sharks. 9-2. You know what? I like that we're skipping the BS. You know, the Beast just wants us to go to set 3. Aru did the mix. There's no one to give it to. 10-2 for the Sharks. You know, as you noticed, I didn't really commentate as much. Because I'm saving it for set number 3, where I think we're going to get some good content in set number 3. No, I didn't get my Galaxy when I meowed the first time, so I'm not gonna meow again. Money gone first. Bob goes down. Shots. And the Beasts will take the odd point. 10-3 for the Sharks. Looks like the Beasts are going to take another round. We're just going to let this drag on. If you ask me, I think that this team should be saving their energy for set number 3. They need to send this to a game 5. There is literally no excuse. And Fantana, solos, clinching set number 2, 11-3. And there is obviously going to be a server switch. But you know what? Let's have a talk with the Sharks players.
Yo, it's Patrick.
Yeah. Hey Sharks, alright, so set number 3, you guys have the chance to take the championship. I think it could be said that you guys need to dominate and you guys can't let it get close. What is your strategy for set number 3?
PC check, bro.
We're just gonna, try to dominate. We have the momentum.
Do you think that Beasts simply aren't prepared? Like, are you confident? How confident are you that you guys are going to take set number 3 here right now?
I feel like what we need to do is just play as a team. Like we played really good all around. Yeah. You played good all around.
All right, best of luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, Beasts. Beasts, so you guys, your season is on the line. A must-win set. What is the strategy?
I just dropped
I just have one thing to say, bro. Like, tell your deadbeat refs to call stuff when they call it, bro. Because real games are just saying a bunch of shit in chat, yeah. I'm telling them to call it when it's not. I know it's not your fault because your age group is 21, yeah. Like, so you can't see real games in chat. But like, he's just saying like wild shit that I'm getting bent. I'm telling Jay to call it, and he's not just airing it. And I know you can see my chat as well.
Alright, let me say the strat. So the strat is for me to, go first, clear the whole team, and then just let the rest of my team clear up, and we should win game 5 tomorrow. And
I mean, you just KOs two games in a row now. We're gonna watch 50 this set.
if they get more than 6, wallahi, I'll get on cam.
Like, he's telling him to do his job. Just better than everyone.
Alright.
The referee, you know, I know it's tense. I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you.
Bro, he's dumb.
Both teams are angry. They are not happy. I know you guys can't see, but in the chat, the two teams are going at it. They do not like each other. Real Gamer and Bob Blown hate each other.
I gave
Beasts,
Bell-
one more question, Beasts.
Yo.
If the
What's this
Sharks
like?
win, will you be joining in on the handshake line?
Hell
Nope.
no.
Nah, they're all frauds. And they talk so like disgusting about us, bro.
Yeah.
None of that was
Alright.
sportsmanship, like.
Yeah. We're not gonna do the handshake line.
Oh,
A
now he
stringent-
wants to start calling out.
A stringent warning by the referee. He will not tolerate any BS. And we are now starting. Welcome to set number 3. Sharks have the chance to take the championship right here, right now. Bob Blown takes out Slump first. Bob to Ferocious. Bob is angry. He does not want to see the Sharks win a championship. Bob needs to pass it over to Ray. Takes out Fantana instead. Bob Blown going for Ray. And Bob is finally taken out at the mercy of Ray. Barrow goes down next. It is now a 3-on-3 or 2-on-3. Not sure what's happening. Beasts still have numbers. Ray ankled by shots. And now it's up to Real Gamer. Real Gamer has the bomb. Gives it to Shots. Real Gamer over to Kai. Kai's out, and now it's a 1-on-1. Vox and Real Gamer. Real Gamer has some timing. Vox tracks it back, and that is a point for the Beasts. Ray is out. Kai has the bomb. Going to try and give it over. And Bob goes down out of that scruffle. Ferocious sacks down Real Gamer. Not sure if that was the smartest play. Vox is out. And Beasts take round number 2. Right over to Bob. Bob from Ray. And Bob is taken out at the mercy of Ray. Real Gamer and Shots. They're going at it. Real Gamer wants Shots out, and Shots is out. Barra now holds the bomb. And Slump, unable to take out Barra. Not good for the Sharks. Real Gamer now in the corner, going to try for Barra himself. Man, would it be something if Barra takes out Real Gamer. That is a double KO for Bera. Right to Kai. Kai over to Ray. Fantana goes down. Kai takes out Ferocious. Ferocious did that to himself. Not sure why he thought that was a good idea. He was going to watch back the clip and then realize how stupid that was. And Beasts are up 3-0. Real Gamer going down first. Ferocious taking out shots. Ferocious going down again. Ray and Bob now at it. Ray go to try and focus on Bob, and Bob unable to focus back. Ray from Kai. Kai unable to pass it to anyone. Vox to Fantana. Fantana to Vox, and Vox sacks Barra instead. Sharks have numbers now. Pivoting for strategy. Ray goes down. Vox over to Slump. Unsuccessful. Yes! What a pass! Oh, the voice crack. I was yawning. I was yawning when that happened. Fantana. Vox single-handedly solos. 4-0 for the Beasts. Vox goes down first after that crazy solo in round number 4. Ray over to Kai, and Kai goes down. Bob to Ray. Uvet takes out Slump. Trying to take out Bob, was simply unsuccessful in doing so. Ray goes down. Shots down next. Sharks finally get their first point on the board, and they want to make a comeback. They're confident. Just heard from Sharks HQ. They're confident they can make a comeback despite being down 4-1. Fantana unable to pass it over to Shots. Kai wins the next round. It is 5-1. My goodness, what is happening? Real Gamer goes down, and that is a win for the Beasts. This was quite unexpected, I won't lie. I thought we were going to be getting much more action. Chris goes down first. Ray sacking down Ferocious. They got Bob and Ray going at it. Ray wants to stick to Bob, and Bob's like, nope, not happening. Real Gamer, the last player alive. The map, much quieter, more room. And Real Gamer gives it to Vox, who then sacks shots. Vox, over to Real Gamer, and that is another dub for the Beasts. Real Gamer taking out Bob Lone. Barra is out. Chris goes down. Kai passing it over to Real Gamer, taking him out. Ray and Vox now going at it. Sharks have numbers, however, Vox is simply too good. He does not want for Sharks to get any wins around here. However, he'll allow one this time. 7-2 for the Beasts. It's called Time Bomb by Customs Community. The game was stopped. Bob and Real through the wall, sacking his own teammate. How'd you become, man, it's practice. You have to practice. Bob goes down. Barra holds a bomb. Has no one to pass it to. Real Gamer. Shots is out. That is another dub for the Sharks. What is going on? Are the Sharks going to make a late comeback? Here's the comeback, fellas. You know, 7-4 looks very attractive on the score sheet. Makes it sound doable. Real Gamer had all the time in the world, wasn't able to pass it. Bob goes AFK. Possibly the worst time possible. No, Bob was faking it. And passed it over to Ray. Bob jukes. Bob blown up the bomb over to Slump. Sacks Fantana. Bob over to Slump. Chris is out, and that is a win for the Beasts. There will not be a late comeback by the Sharks. It's looking less and less likely. Bob Lone, unable to get Real Gamer. We'll get him over to Vox. Oved sacks down Kai. Didn't work out in taking out Real Gamer. Vox trying to get involved, and Vox is tracked from far away and goes down. Swap over to Shots. Shots needs to pass it back, and he's unable to do so. Real Gamer over to Chris. Real Gamer over to Bera. And some momentum for the Beasts. 8-4, cutting the lead in half. (8-4). And there it is. Person 299's League Championship trophy. Both teams want that trophy badly. Bob Lone to Real Gamer. Real Gamer to Bob, who then passes it over to Kai. Kai goes down. Bob goes down next. Sump. Tracked down. Not sure if that was server leg or personal leg on the Sharks. Shots to Real Gamer. Real Gamer taking out Chris instead. Vox and Bera still alive. Two strong powerhouses. Shots, also a decent player, improving his skill sets and tracks down Real Gamer. Shots tracked down. It is now a 2-on-2. I would argue that's a pivotal must-win 2-on-2 for the Sharks, and Ray delivers on Bera. Can Ray deliver on Vox, though, who has 9 KOs, compared to Ray's 17? Smart play by Ray to sack Fantana. It is now a 1-on-1. Vox and Ray. Vox will track down Ray. 9-4. For the Beasts. Chris unable to pass it over to Shots. Fantana goes down. Ray, unable to pass it over to Bob. Real Gamer to Bob, and Kai goes down, sacks his own teammate. And Real Gamer to Bob, to Vox, who then took out Slump. Bob versus Real Gamer. And that is a win for the Beasts. Game point. Bob blown a Real Gamer. Real Gamer to Bob. Bob back to Real. Bob up to Vero, and Vero is out. Fantana, unable to pass it to Kai. Chris to Bob, and Bob over to Chris. Bob, unable to give it over to Slump. Ready. Goes down. The bomb is with shots and Kai. Slump goes down, and that is game 11-4. We will be going to a game 5. 12 rounds, 12 sets of Time Bomb have been played so far in this finals. Kai and Bob standing on top of the trophy, acting like they've already won it. They haven't won yet. Sharks will have the server advantage. We'll see you tomorrow.